Hello, it's Greg Watford again, and welcome to this video in which we're going to be talking about the 3 top tips to making awesome videos on a low budget or for free or no cost. Now, you know that videos are really important nowadays to your marketing. You've seen it yourself, and Facebook has now embraced video. YouTube's got squillions of hours of video going up every 10 seconds. We got Vimeo, we got Jing, etc. So have you thought of making a video, or maybe you have thought about it and you're a bit reluctant to do it, or you've made some videos and they're just not quite right? So we're going to be covering some tips here that will actually help you produce some awesome videos. Now, the first thing I'll do is how to make free videos, of course, is with a smartphone. You've got a smartphone, almost everybody has, if not borrow one. And that's what I use for a lot of my videos, so just my trusty iPhone 4S, and sometimes I use a selfie stick to get it out there, because your arm tends to be not quite long enough, so selfie sticks are really good, so you can pick up one of those for $5 to $10 or whatever. Look, the other thing that I've done, you don't have to do this, but I've actually bought a little, what's called a lapel mic, and it actually helps regarding the quality of the sound. This particular brand is Rode, R-O-D-E, and you can pick them up off eBay, and they make all the difference in the world to your sound. So we'll talk about sound in a minute. So let's before we move on, just a couple of tips regarding shooting off an iPhone. Now, I don't know whether this goes with an Android, but just on an iPhone, a couple of things. One is the camera on this side, on this particular old iPhone 4S, is I think 5 megapixels, and the one on this side is only about 2. Do not worry about having a low resolution or lower resolution on this side. It makes perfect videos just as long as the light is good. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is have your home button to the right when you're shooting out that way, when you're shooting off this camera. But if you're shooting yourself in reverse, it's best to actually turn it around and have the home button on the left. The reason being is now and then the video may turn upside down. iPhone may have a bit of a hiccup or whatever, so it's a bit of a tip just to do that. Look, the other way to actually remember it is the volume buttons, which can be used for cameras, by the way, so you can go click click with your thumb, either the plus or the minus on the volume, to go and shoot a pic. So if you're shooting out this side, have the volume on the bottom. If you're shooting this side, have the volume on the top, which is quite handy, as a matter of fact. So if you're actually shooting yourself doing a selfie, just use the volumes to turn it on off. Okay, so that's that one. Let's get stuck into the 3 top tips to making awesome videos. Now, the first one is positioning. Now, it's very tempting to actually just go and, I'll go and shoot a video, but you're sort of not looking about what's behind you, and sometimes you've got things growing out of your head, or something distracting, lots of people walking past, or something bland. Maybe it might be just a blank wall where you can see here. It's an interesting background. It happens to be my office, but I could stand in front of a wall and it becomes a bit boring. So the positioning is very good. Very important to make it interesting, and also position yourself within the frame. So you can see me. I've positioned myself, I think that should be from about there to about there, and you can see a bit of my office here, and you can see most of me here. So I've positioned myself in the camera, so it's right. So I'm not sort of like half out of frame. The other thing is to always look at the lens. So the lens here is on your iPhone is here. So don't look, well, I'll give you an example. If I'm talking to you now like this, it's sort of a bit funny. If I'm talking down here, it's how you going, Joe, blah, blah, blah. It's a bit funny. No, I'm talking to you right there. I'm looking at you right there. So you need to look right in the lens. So that's part of positioning as well. Okay, so that covers positioning. That's number one. Number two is the lighting. Now you'll see the lighting here is even and I'm well lit, and regarding shadows, they're only very, very light shadows. That's because I'm using some studio lighting. Now you don't have to use studio lighting. With this you can obviously go outside, you can be anywhere with your lighting, but generally the rules with lighting: make sure the brightest light is on the front. Never ever have a bright light at the back, because your poor camera will actually stop itself down. If you've got a bright light behind you, it'll stop itself down and you're becoming darker than what your background is. And it really looks poor. You know, you see some videos that people make on the internet and you think, why did they do that? You know, why didn't they just put up a strong light in their face? So you don't have to have any special studio lighting, just a strong light in your face. Now regarding lighting outside, you think, okay, well, I'll face the sun. The sun will be up there, it'll be looking straight at me. But direct sunlight makes very, very harsh shadows. There'll be normally a shadow if it's towards midday. There'll be a shadow, a black shadow under your chin, directly under your nose, even under your eyebrows, and perhaps your eyes might be even dark if you have a direct sunlight. It's far better to shoot on a cloudy day. A cloudy day has a nice, even amount of light. Or if you shoot a video when you're in a shaded area, not a full shade, but a shaded area, so the light is coming in. And just make sure it's not mottled. You know, you've seen that mottle effect where the sun goes through the trees and you've got a big overexposed, underexposed, overexposed, underexposed. Just be a bit careful of that. So the lighting, even lighting is always best, and it's best on the front. Make sure it's not too bright at the back. So that's the lighting. So that's number 2, and number 3 is the sound. The microphone on an iPhone is down the bottom here where you charge it up, and it works pretty well. You know, you give it 8 or 9 out of 10, but there are a couple of things with it. Inside it tends to be a bit echoey, because you've got hard surfaces off the wall, etc. You're listening to me now with a special shotgun mic. Now I'm going to be talking about the equipment that I use to shoot out my videos in a later video. But right now we're looking at how do you make these good videos for free or at low cost. So microphones. So just be aware, do some trials about an echo effect that you may get by having an omnidirectional microphone at the bottom of your iPhone. If you're outside, one of the worst things is wind. There's a lot of wind noise as it blows over the microphone. You hear it going, and it makes for a very distracting video. So you've got to be a bit careful regarding the microphone. So don't shoot with your Android or iPhone on a windy day or in a windy area, but get in a protected area and you should be right. And the phone shouldn't be too far away, otherwise it's going to be picking up all the street noises and other people talking and rustling of leaves or whatever, which has become very distracting. So you need it fairly close to actually pick it up. Okay, so the sound. The best sound comes from using a plug-in microphone of some description. And as I said, you can get these off eBay, and they're not that expensive, and they make all the difference in the world on the quality of audio. You can get away with a video, you can get away with a bit of dodgy pick, but you can't get away with dodgy sound. You know yourself that if you're watching a YouTube video and the sound's terrible, it's just so distracting you don't want to watch it. Okay, that wraps up those 3 points. Number 1 is positioning. Number 2 is make sure the lighting is right, or as best that you can get it. And number 3 is the sound. Make sure that's best that you can get it as well. Well, that about wraps up this video. I do hope you found value. And look, I'll place a link below this video that if you'd like to join my list and see what we're currently doing, you're quite welcome to click on that and come on board with us. Okay, I'm looking forward to catching you in the next video. Bye for now.